Hello, everyone. I am wondering who is up. Tonight it is open conversation, so I'm going to give you all the opportunity to just come on into the room. I know I haven't been on here in a while, um, but I wanted to come on tonight because I have some new shows that I'm going to be updates, new shows that I'm going to be doing. I'm working on actually two updated shows. As we speak, I will be finished next week. And I wanted to, let me see, banners. I want to talk about whatever you all want to talk about. Uh, yeah, so come on in the room. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was just coming on tonight and I'm going to wait for, I know I don't get on here often, so I don't know if you all get notifications. Um, but I was getting on tonight. It is open conversation. You all can come into the room and we could talk about whatever you all want to talk about. I did want to talk about some of the updated shows that I'm going to be doing. I am back into doing my shows as far as um, cold cases, uh, cases of injustices. Um, y'all know that's what I started out doing 8 years ago. And I had gotten drained, so I kind of fell off because I just did. But now it's like I have, because I was doing them every single day. And when you're doing cases, you're doing shows like that, it can take a lot of your energy because you get so involved, especially with the families, especially with trying to get information as it relates to the injustice, to the cold case, whether it's a missing person or a cold case homicide. So, yeah, I am going to start back doing those cases. I know that there were a lot of people that was reaching out to me at one time because there was cases that they wanted me to cover, and that's why I'm on here tonight, because this will be you all's opportunity to talk about. Um, this would be you all's opportunity to let me know what cases that you all would like for me to cover as far as a missing persons case, a case of an injustice, um, or a cold case homicide. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm really amped up about it because I am excited. My heart, this is where my heart is as far as bringing awareness to missing persons and cold case homicides. A lot of people, I am working on, as a matter of fact, I will be finished next week on the James Irby case. James Irby was a African American man. Of course, if you go back and you look at that show, you will see that I had already covered that case. An African American man that went missing after he was pulled over in Walls, Mississippi. He was on his way to a funeral. There is video of him, um, the being on camera where the officer pulled him over, put him in handcuffs. But when he got out of sight, Mr. Irby went missing. And that's been almost 10 years ago. Mr. Irby was in his late 50s. He had cancer, he had gout, and they tried to say that these athletic officers tried to say a man with those types of ailments outran him, outran all of them, and they don't know where he ran to. They say he ran across a 50 feet football field and outran them, a man with all of these ailments that had asthma, that could not even run like that. Um, so that's one of the cases that I'm doing an update on, because there have been so many people that wanted me to do updates on those cases. Um, there are a few more that I'm working on. Like I said, I started out bringing awareness to missing African American people. Although I bring awareness to, and since then, so many people, you see quite a few people that are on YouTube doing those shows now. Like I said, I started doing them 8 years ago and I got drained, because it can be extremely draining. Because I was actually covering those cases with the family. I would actually have the families into my studio. You have families coming from everywhere. So, yeah, I wanted, you know, my viewers to know. I know I lost a lot of them when I just went MIA from YouTube for a long time, not uploading shows. I had people finding me on social media saying, Tam, when are you going to, please, when are you going to start back uploading shows? Like, we had gotten so addicted to looking at your shows, but they didn't understand that I had gotten drained. But I feel revived. It's been a couple years, and I'm back on it. So that's why I'm on here tonight. Like I said, it is open discussion. It is open discussion. And you get on, but we don't just have to talk about that. It's open discussion. It's whatever you all would like to talk about. Um, I know quite a few people, um, you know, kind of been looking at the lives that I did on the Young Dolph's case. Just touching lightly on the Young Dolph's case, I would have to say that case really touched my heart. Young Dolph was a African American man that was a self-made millionaire that had worked extremely hard and was doing, helping people within his community. So, of course, that was a great loss to us here in Memphis. And, even people outside of Memphis have been touched by it. They have been covering that. I think people are just wanting to get to the bottom of what has happened. And, they want justice for Dolph. I think any logical human being would want justice for Dolph. Um, that was a father. He was a fiance. He was a son. He was a brother, an uncle, a friend, a mentor. So we definitely people want justice. Let's see, I don't see anyone on here yet. Um, yeah. But anyways, like I said, I'll just keep talking until people start coming in. Like I said, I don't know if YouTube sent out notifications, if I'm supposed to share. I don't know, because I don't see a share button. Like, I'm just getting used to YouTube also. And I know I always make promises that I'm gonna get on here even more. But I'm just learning about YouTube too. But yeah, like I said, I'll be getting on here every night, and you'll start to see me upload new updates and things of that nature on a regular basis. I plan to do it at least 3 to 4 times a week, and then get on here a couple times a week for lives for us to discuss those cases that I had uploaded. If you all have questions, and like I said, if you all have cases that you want me to that you would like updates on, or just anything, that you want to discuss. Because like I said, I will start in. There are two cases that I'm. Good evening. How are you, Mr. Marlin? There are a couple cases that I am working on right now to give updates on, and I'm working to give updates on, and they will be up next week. Like I said, I stayed away for a long time, so I've just slowly been getting back into YouTube. And I'm so happy. It feels so good to be bringing awareness again as far as missing persons and cold case homicides and things of that nature and injustices, because what a lot of people don't know is, like, I bring awareness to that. There are so many people that are incarcerated, um, that should not be incarcerated, and it is obvious that they were even either set up or they didn't even fit the description and they are in jail. So I bring awareness to those situations, and these are people that have been in jail for many, many years. So I was doing that before, um, bringing awareness to that, and that's something that I want to start back doing. There's a case right now that I want to bring awareness to. There's a case down in Louisiana, the Rogers Lacaze case. That was a national situation, whereas Rogers was 16 years old at the time. And the reason the case was so popular is because there was a New Orleans police officer involved, Antoinette Franks. And he was basically set up. And with looking at the narrative that the media had painted, because I had seen all of the national shows on his case, I was like, okay, it's impossible for him to be innocent. But come to find out, when I started looking into it, it is like a cesspool. It's like a lot of cover up and corruption that came from the New Orleans Police Department, that came from the judicial system. Some of the lawyers, like, it was, he and that young man has been in jail since he was 16 years old, and he's now in his 40s. Now Antoinette Franks is guilty, but Rogers Lacaze is not guilty, and I think that's a shame. He's been in jail almost 30 years for a crime that he did not commit. And when we see, like, people don't understand, that's why shows like mine are extremely important. When we look at these shows on, like, these documentaries on national media, is mainly for entertainment. So they will embellish, and we tend to believe what they put out. And so that's why it is so important when you have independent shows like mine, where I go and I actually do the investigation and I put out the truth and have the opportunity to even speak to the victims and the families and things of that nature. And you will see, you go, dog, I thought, it was one way. Um, that's how they really influence the people. That young man has been in jail for almost 30 years for a crime that he did not commit. And that is very unfortunate. And so I will be doing an update on that particular case. That's one of the cases that was, that I uploaded. It was a two-part show. The only interview that he's ever done was an interview on my show. He's on part two, I believe, that's been uploaded now for about 4 or 5 years. And I'm getting ready to do another one because, like I said, I want to bring more awareness to that. I think in his situation, there are a lot of African American men who get messed over. I'm not talking about those ones that are guilty. I'm talking about those ones that are innocent. So my show has always brought awareness to that. Like I said, with James Irby. James Irby went missing when he was pulled over by the Walls, Mississippi Police Department. And there has been no justice for him. It is obvious that they did something to him. and they've just allowed the Walls, Mississippi Police Department to list him as a missing person. His family has been trying to get justice for years. And so I started doing an update on it. And to top it off, to finish it off, his family was supposed to be here this week, and his mother had gotten ill. She was actually supposed to be here today so that I can finish it up, the show up, but they're actually going to be come up in a few days so that I could finish it off, and I will upload that. And then we'll start going back. I'll start logging on and we'll do lives and we'll get feedback on those cases. I want to drop the link if anybody wants to come up and have any questions. Y'all just bear with me. Let's see, invite, copy. Okay, so I guess that is the link. I'm going to put the link in here. And if anybody wants to come up, you click on that link and you can definitely come up and talk. Um, yeah. Like I said, I have not been on in so long. It just I and I feel so bad because I had so many people reaching out to me talking about cases that they wanted me to cover, but I had gotten so drained because I was doing cases every day as far as bringing awareness. And I was actually interviewing the families in person. So, that was extremely draining. But now with technology, YouTube was not necessarily like it was before as far as the lives and things of that nature. It'll be a little bit more easier for me to bring awareness and still be able to communicate. Um, and I want to just keep in I want to be able to reach out and touch my viewers, um, and get feedback from you all. And also, you all may have cases that you want me to, you may want to talk about on here, commentate about, and things of that nature, because there are a lot of them. There are so many missing people, and the African Americans don't get the coverage, not unless it is via um, social media or something like that. You have a person who sometimes may go viral, and it's unfortunate because our kids are consistently going missing in record numbers daily, and it's sad that they cannot get the attention or the coverage. But I think right now, also, like I said, with cold cases, Young Dolph's case is not cold, and I think that everybody is fascinated with that case. And with me being right here in Memphis, like I said, I wasn't a rap fan, but I do know that some things that young Dolph did as far as being a philanthropist and helping his community. And everybody's just kind of fascinated with that now because everybody really wants to know what happened. And I think that's what's going on. People are just waiting to see what happened, because I think even with the young men that they have in custody right now, people don't necessarily you hear people saying, "Well, we don't believe that they were involved. We believe that they are the fall guys." We don't know. The only thing that we could do is sit back and wait on the wheels of justice to turn. But I will say this: if those young men did not do it and they are sitting in jail, I don't understand why they wouldn't tell. I sure wouldn't go down for something somebody around me did. You talking about, I heard the judge, I thought I heard the judge say something about they could seek the death penalty. Why on earth would any one of them want to um go through that just for the title of keeping it real? And then if they did not do this and they know who did, or some of their friends or somebody did, somebody around them, why would their friends allow them to go through this? You see what I mean? Why does it seem they take out the smart ones? It seems to be a lot deeper to me. Yeah, it does, because Dolph was making boss moves. I was looking at a video that Dolph did. Dolph was actually, he had retired from music, and he said when he did that, he had so many people calling him some of the young guys that was on, that was looking up to him, that he signed, crying and stuff, saying they was looking up to him. They was one, they looked to him to help to guide them. They had realized their dream. They were in the street. They was trying to get. They have a talent. They was trying to get out of the street. And what Dolph was doing was he was teaching them the business. And I feel, and you're right. I think it's deeper too. When you're teaching young men the business, it's not conducive to a lot of people that we may not even know about. Because if you think about the record industry, so you think about Prince and Michael Jackson even spoke about how the record industry was. They signed them to slave contracts because they didn't know any better. You think about these artists from out of the hood, they're just happy for the fame. They don't really, for years, folks with the formula came up short. Sam Cooke, absolutely. Sam, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And so when they start sharing that knowledge and they refuse to go up under the umbrella of a record company or something like that, they are looked at as a threat. It's unfortunate. And the sad thing about it is they will use another black person to take out our black men that are just trying to be independent, and teach other black people how to be independent. For some reason it seems to be a crime when to teach other black people the formula to bring them out of bondage. And for so many years, whenever they wanted to take down a black man or a black woman that is a threat, they use other black people to do it, and black people will do it for money. We are destroying our own leaders and communities, and we've been doing it for years for money and fame. It's a crying shame. It is. They use another black person to do it, and then after they use them up, because that karma does not miss a step. Years later you see of the same thing happening to that person, and it's like black people have not learned yet. Black people are the talent. We're the talents as far as this rap thing. We created this rap stuff. These black boys can make a lot of money off of rap. I was listening to, I was born in the late 70s, but I grew up in the 80s. And so I was listening to some rap earlier, and it just reminded me of the 80s. Cool Mo D, How You Like Me Now. That's when rap was fun. I was like, dog, that bring back so much, so many memories of us dancing and having fun when we was excited. And then the music was different. When I was listening to it, it made me happy. Now, when you listen to this rap music, it's something demonic even about the beats. It's dark. They're weaponizing it to help to kill off other black people, and black folks are going for it. I always think about the scene in Belly when Tommy was shooting ball, and that other guy approached him to do a move. I remember looking at Belly. I remember seeing that movie. I don't remember a whole lot because it's been so long, but I remember I saw it one time. I may look at it again. But you're right, it's something deeper. And like I said, it's hurtful to me because I can't understand why other black people are going for it. The United States we print up our own money. It's enough money for everybody, but for some reason they're able to con black people by saying we'll let you in, but you can't let nobody else in. We don't ever want nobody, to make more money than us. So help us take this person out. I'm just saying, and you're right. It could be deeper than street beef. It could be, but either way it go, it was dead wrong. It was dead wrong what they did to him. It was dead wrong. Just looking at the sadness on his children's faces, looking at the sadness on his girlfriend's face. I mean, she looks like, if you look at her face, she looks like she's in a deep depression. And I'm sure she is. You talk about you ripped her man away, you rip away the father of her children. Now she's left to raise their children, their babies by herself. Like his life was completely interrupted. And it looks like for nothing at all. Because I don't care if you do get into a pissing contest. Rap, people have always in rap, you start, I guess in the late 90s, that's when they started having like rap battles and beef. They took a art that black men could make money from. First of all, they raped them with contracts for so many years. They had the talents, but somehow the people with the money found a way to pimp the talents of black people. So when they finally started finding out about the how, you know, the contracts, how they was raping them in the contracts, and they started getting a little smarter. So then they started weaponizing it and having black people to turn against each other. And I just think that that is a crying shame. You know, it should not be like this. And I'm to the point now, something has to be done. Like record companies, uh, and the citizens are going to have to start putting their feet down. They're talking about destruction, and this network is, or this radio station is playing it. We're not going to listen to that radio station. We give up our power, but we definitely have the power. Because here's the thing, they talked about beef and things of that nature for many, many years in rap. I guess it started getting worse in like the early 2000s. But as far as killing each other, that's too much. That's too much, and we don't need to support anything that is going to be destroying our community. Low frequency, you are right. It is. You're right. Low frequency. Sometimes you can make folks more upset when you ignore them. I don't understand. But it's no, absolutely. That's true. That is absolutely true. You make folks more upset when you ignore them. That's absolutely true. And it seems like that's what happened. It seems like that is what happened. But I think at this point, like I said, we're all waiting to see what's going to come of this, what all is going to happen. I think people are just really anxious because it's been going on for a while. And normally, with big cases like this, the police have um, evidence that we don't even know about. You know, they have evidence that we don't even know about. So, I think people probably, I hear a lot of people, they talk about the cookie shop and things of that nature. I'm not so sure. I'm not saying that anybody in that cookie shop, somebody might have been, I don't know. I think instead of accusing people, we should just sit back and wait to see what's going to happen. Because one thing for sure, whatever evidence the police have, maybe it makes them seem small. I don't know. They get the big man. Get that. Maybe it makes them seem small. I don't know. They get the bad. I hope they do too. I hope that they get the bad man too, in his situation. And I hope, you know, if Straight Drop and Cornelius didn't do this, um, I hope that they tell on who did. But I don't understand why they would be quiet and put themselves through this. I know it's got to be stressful. It's got to be stressful. All in the name of keeping it real and not being a rat. That's crazy. So I hope and pray that there is some justice for Doll. That's what I hope and pray. And I do believe that there will be some justice for Doll. That's what I believe. Hopefully this killing will stop. You know, hopefully it will. I don't want to see any other person go down because of rap, you know. I don't want to see that. I hope this stuff ceases. When justice is served for Dolph, even now, with the wheels of justice spinning, I don't want to see another black man lose his life. I don't want to see that. Everybody, make sure you hit the like button. Um, I guess if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Like I don't know how to share. I put the link in the chat, so if you want to come up, if you want to talk about something, um, you could definitely do that. Click on the link that's in the comments. Yep, click on the link that's in the comments if you want to come up and talk. It's open discussion. See, I've been on here for 30 minutes. It is open discussion. It's a learned behavior. Most people are a product of their environment. Most people are a product of their environment. And it's unfortunate, even when people start making money, they don't know how to turn it off. And so that's why I say they're going to have to start putting more pressure, we the people, on record labels to make sure that the artists' minds are right, and to make sure, because if they start doing anything, promoting violence and doing violent things and constantly getting in trouble, that record label needs to be, I can't come on this time, I need my bopper. Oh my goodness. I tell you. I wish some more people would come on because like I said, I don't know if my YouTube sent out notifications or what, but I wish some more people would come on so they can talk. Maybe you can come on and use your avatar. And use your avatar. I guess what I'm gonna have to start doing is scheduling, like when I'm gonna, but I never know when I'm gonna do, what time I'm gonna do a live. But start scheduling a time and letting and sending out notifications to let people know that I'm gonna come on at a certain time. But shoot, it is Super Bowl weekend. Everybody probably drunk. They're out. It's Valentine's uh weekend, so people are probably out on a Saturday, right? Yeah. But at any rate, I'm not. I may get back. I am going to get back on tomorrow. Um, yeah, I'll get back on tomorrow. I want you guys to have a good night.